I love that you brought up product because it's the one area that is screaming for this information, but it's also the one that I feel like analytics teams don't argue for. They always argue for that first part that you were talking about, as far as understanding the customer journey, how marketing campaigns perform, what's going on the site today. They don't argue for the product side of it.
That's right.
And as you were talking, it was kind of one of those things. I was like, is that the reason then why, when analytics teams are fighting to be at the grown-up table, we use that analogy, that Thanksgiving analogy all the time, of being at the kids table versus being at the adults table, because they ignore the product piece of it, and they're only focusing kind of on the experience side of it, or like the site experience and what's going on in the moment, that they miss out,
Yeah.
because
And
product is at that adult table.
oh, for sure. And I think you're absolutely right. It's a massive opportunity. It is the reason why, well, it's a major contributing factor to why so many analytics teams were first to get cut in, excuse me, the initial rounds of layoffs, reorganizations, whatever you want to call it, at the start of the pandemic. Think about, you bought a new truck.
Yeah.
Think about your truck. Think about a really cool, valuable feature in there that if it stopped working, you can still drive your truck. And that's how we view analytics, right? It's like, yeah, I mean, in some organizations where it's working well, it's like, well, it's really nice and it makes the, process a little bit more enjoyable. But if it went away, we can still, drive the truck. We can still build the product. But if analytics, where it should be, is a linchpin in your product design process, then you can't really live without it. That's like saying, well, we want to create a new product. Well, we don't have a product designer. Well, that's going to be a problem. And until we're able to shift from a, hey, digital analytics really is about post after the fact measuring how well your product works, to moving it to, sure, I mean, it can be a measurement device, but, and I've always, that term measurement, pound measure, kind of puts us in a bad spot, right? It's like, oh, we just measure things. We're missing this huge opportunity, untapped, of value creation, where it's not about just measuring, it's about using the inputs from analytics into creating more meaningful products at the start, at the very ideation phase. And if that is true, and your analytics truly is an input into your product ideation stage, I guarantee you it's not the first round of layoffs when the next downturn in the economy comes.
And Sadie agrees.
She agrees.